so we talked about the Louisiana Purchase, we talked about Oregon, we talked about Texas, so now we're going to talk about the Southwest USA. Now, Spain claimed this because Juan de Onate was the guy that showed up there first, and for years, Spain did not let white settlers settle in New Mexico, especially in Santa Fe. Once Santa Fe became part of Mexico, white settlers began to move in. And the very first white settler was a storekeeper by the name of William Becknell, and he moved there in 1821. In California, missionary Juan Juniper Cerro established a string of missions along the California coast. Now, Juniper Cerro recently was made a saint by the Catholic Church, but your book didn't have a very high opinion of him. They talked about how Indians were forced to live and work on the missions. In the 1820s, Mexico felt mission progress was slow, so they took the land away from missions and gave the land to owners. And so we have these huge rancheros that started. More and more United States citizens moved to California. Several times the United States offered to buy California from Mexico. Many people believed the nation should stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific. This was called Manifest Destiny. So, Van Buren had succeeded Jackson as president and ruined the country. Okay, so his economy failed miserably. People want another hero type president, a common type man, an everyday man, and that was William Henry Harrison. Now, Harrison was pretty old by the time he ran for president, but he had been a hero of fallen timbers, and he had been the governor of Indiana. And they wanted to bring the South along, and so they decided to add John Tyler, to the ticket. Now, it's kind of bad because Tyler's not really a Whig like Harrison is. Anyway, he's termed a log cabin president because he's born in a log cabin. The first log cabin president was Jackson, but we had to skip that because of Van Buren. And here we go to the next slide. So, on Inauguration Day, of course, Harrison won. It's below freezing. It's snowing. It's sleeting. And our friend Harrison decides not to take a carriage, but to ride his horse to the inauguration. So he's in the snow and the sleet and freezing temperatures. Then he decides to give his speech, which was 2.5 hours, on the Capitol steps while it's sleeting and snowing and freezing. And so, of course, guess what? He catches pneumonia. 3 months later, he's dead. Okay, so now John Tyler's president. Congress is extremely unhappy. And the reason they're extremely unhappy is because they have a Southerner who's president, and they have a supposed Whig who's more of a Democrat as president. And they are not happy at all. They don't pass anything Tyler sends their way, and Tyler doesn't like their stuff. And another weird thing about Tyler is, and it might be because he's the first guy to inherit the office, not be elected to it, he didn't pick a vice president. So luckily he didn't die. At the very end of his administration, he forces a joint resolution through that makes Texas part of the United States. So, who does win the next election? It's not going to be Tyler, and Henry Clay's winning, but he's not very popular with Southerners. Well, guess who does win? James K. Polk, 1844. And he's called the dark horse candidate. Now, what's interesting about Polk is he's only going to stay in office for 4 years because, well, I did everything I said I was going to do. And what did he say he was going to do? Well, first, he said he was going to make Oregon part of the United States. So finally, they hashed out an agreement. They threatened to go to war with Britain, but they hashed out an agreement with Britain to have Oregon for the United States end at the 49th parallel, which is where it ends today. The other was that they would annex Texas. And even though Tyler did that, Polk still had to get Texas approved as part of the United States. So, really hard question today. Who are the 9th, the 10th and the 11th president. And I hope you have a great day.